All right, awesome. Welcome, everybody. I'm super excited for tonight's Zoom. I love Tuesday nights. I love getting together and connecting with you guys. It's always so fun. And it's been a busy last couple of days getting this new team page up and going, and I'm so excited about it and everything that we have coming up. It's going to be awesome. So just real quick before we get into the Zoom, if you guys have not yet, I posted on VIP Rap Stars and then everybody else who is in the other team pages, the link is posted for the new group page that we're all going to be coming together on, and we're going to be kicking it off tomorrow with the live videos that we were telling you about for this 45-day burst. So if you guys have not already requested to join, make sure that you are requesting to join on that link. The links are kind of all over the place, but request to join. Tomorrow evening, I'm going to be turning the group to secret, so the link will no longer work. So you're going to want to make sure that you're sharing that link with your team, tagging your team so they're all requesting to join, because after I get rid of that link, you will have to go in one by one and start adding people. So it's just a lot easier right now if we can get everybody over there, have a goal of getting everybody over there. By tonight would be great, and then we'll put it to secret tomorrow. So super excited about that. For anybody new who is on, my name is Crystal Pearl. I'm an ambassador diamond with It Works, and I'm super excited to be on the Zoom with you guys tonight. Tuesday nights are our night of the week that we all come together, do a little training, and try to give you some meat and potatoes, some things to help you grow your business and expand your business. And so we love it. We know we kind of have a team that's all over the place, and Zoom's just an awesome way for us to get together and connect. And so I'm super excited for tonight's Zoom. Connor, are you on with us still?
I'm on.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks for being on. So Connor is a presidential diamond on our team, and I'm super excited to have her on. I don't think I've ever actually interviewed you before. I'm not sure, but I don't think I have. So I'm excited about that, and I don't know why. Are you guys seeing Connor? Can you just give me a yes or a no when she's talking? Okay, perfect. On my screen, I'm not. I'm seeing Valerie. I don't know why, but but as long as you guys are, that's all that matters. So, so Connor, why don't we just start with you just introducing yourself to everybody and sharing a little bit about your story with everyone.
Okay, like Crystal said, my name is Connor Stewart. I'm Presidential Diamond. I live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I started the business, I just wrote it down the other day. Not quite 18 months. So maybe it is somewhere in there, 16, 18, somewhere in there, months ago. And I had heard about It Work through, my upline, Carrie Young. I have to get used to saying that. I'm so used to saying Bauer. And I met Carrie through her husband and my boyfriend. They play football together. And when I met her, I had recently just had Presley, who was my daughter, and she'll be 3 in January. And at the time, I was working for my parents. Before I had Presley, I was working at a bank as a teller part-time, only 4 hours a day. So I think that's like less than part-time, but it was what they could give me. And so I got kicked out of college. I've gone through inpatient rehab for drugs and alcohol, and I'm now 4 years sober. And so my job options for making good money weren't really there for me unless I want to go back to school, and that I didn't want to do that now, because now that I had Presley, I want to spend the most time with her as possible. So my situation was, working for my parents. We made a deal where Presley could come to work with me, and then I could do whatever they had for me that day. I was fine and dandy for a year, and I'll forever be grateful for it, because Presley had to be with me and didn't have to be in daycare, because at the time her dad and I were struggling with our relationship, and I wanted her with me. And so I was doing that for about a year or so, and her first birthday rolled around, and I was happy, I love being a mom and everything, but I was so sick of the paycheck to paycheck, and, having to call my mom up and say, hey mom, can we run to Walmart and get diapers? Like, diapers are $25, and now I think of that, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go buy them, because before I started work, I didn't have that $25 to go buy them, and now I can just sell a wrap and be like, sweet, diapers, they're paid for. And so I just got sick of, like I said, the paycheck to paycheck and not having the money to do things. And I knew eventually I was going to want to enroll Presley in the dance classes and soccer and all that fun stuff. But all that stuff takes money, and I didn't have the extra money. And so I didn't want to keep going to my parents. I didn't want to go back to school. And so after following Carrie for a little over a year, I was like, okay. I was talking to my boyfriend, Blake, and I was like, okay, I think I just need to do this. And he's like, well, I don't know why you don't. You keep talking about it, and I'm pretty sure you spent $99 on much worse stuff, so why not? He's like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You quit? I was like, yeah, I guess. And so it was March 31st of 2015 is when I joined Carrie's team, and it was like the deadline, like it was like an hour before midnight, so it was right before the month was over, and it was when the $1,000 bonuses on and stuff. And so I texted her and like, Carrie, sign me up. Don't let me back out this time. Because I had told her probably like 4 times before that, hey, I'm ready to join. And then crickets. Like she didn't hear from me. And so I jumped on board. One of my first trainings was actually with Crystal and I almost said Crystal and Pearl. Crystal and Josh in Aberdeen with Brandy. And they just lit up like Carrie, Tay, Crystal, and Josh, they all just lit a fire under me. And I was so sick, like, you know, before I had Presty and that, I mentioned I was in rehab. And I had just let my family and loved ones down so many times and had just given up on things like college and school and all that stuff that I was so sick of letting people down and so sick of failing, or at least in my eyes, failing. And so I was ready to just take this opportunity. And before I signed up, I even said, I'm not going to do this and quit on myself because I've done that how many times now? Like, I'm sick of where I'm at and I'm going to change it. Especially now because I have someone looking up to me every single day. And so I jumped on board and I said, I'm not failing at this. And I had so many people, you know, tell me, oh, it's a scam. Oh, you're not going to last. Oh, be careful with your money. You're just going to lose out on money. And now almost all those people that have said that to me are on our team today or are customers of mine. And they're like, wow, like I'm stuck at work wiping butts for a living while she's making money selling this crazy rap. And so, that's kind of how I got started, and promoting to presidential in 8 months was crazy. Like, I still look back and I'm like, how did I do that? Because it was like ignorance on fire. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I wanted it so bad that I made it happen. So, and that's kind of where I'm at today. Working on it here.
I love it. I love it. And it's crazy. Like you're one of those, I always say there's like these mythical creatures. They're like unicorns, these people that just come in and like go to the top overnight. And I totally think of you as one of those people because I don't get it. It's totally just ignorance on fire, but it's so fun. So fun to watch.
What you gotta do.
So let's go back. Let's talk about, you said that you backed out on Carrie like 4 times. So let's talk about that because I know that a lot of people get discouraged about that where they have somebody, I mean, I have it happen all the time where you have somebody, they're ready, they're excited, they're like, I'm on the website, what do I do? And then all of a sudden they back out. So
and you're like, where's my enrollment? There's nobody in there.
Right. And that's where the follow-up comes in because I mean, we know, and you've probably learned this now that, you know, on average, it takes people 7 to 10 times before they actually will jump on board and commit. So what was going through your head when that was happening? I mean, because if Carrie would have just said, oh, well, she must just not really be interested after the first time, then you may not be here today. So
exactly.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Basically, every time I tell Carrie, hey, I'm going to sign up, I was in that excited state and I was ready to do this. And then all of a sudden, somebody would come into my ear and be like, you know, you have to run an auto shipment, or are you sure you want to do that? You have to spend money, or are you sure, like, there's somebody already really successful 10 miles from you. And so those people who didn't believe in this and didn't see the vision of this company, they would instill that fear in my head that was never there before. And the minute I would get that fear out and be ready to go again, somebody would put it back in. And so finally, what I did when I ended up joining was I wasn't around my family members because it's always the people that are closest to you that it's just because they're looking out for you, basically. And they don't want to see you get hurt or see you lose out on something, especially when you're already hurting. And so what I did was I didn't tell a single soul. The only person who knew was my dad, because I'm kind of daddy's little girl, and I'm like, Dad, I think I got to do this. He's an entrepreneur himself, so he understood. And then my boyfriend Blake, and he's the one who's like, you spent $99 before, just do it. Like, quit. I don't want to hear it anymore until you do it. But basically, every time people back out, it's normally not because they don't want to do it, it's because they have somebody instilling that fear in their head that they are going to fail or not be successful in this company and that they're just going to lose all their money. And then as long as you keep doing your job of posting and following up with them and generally caring about, talk to them about their fears and, say, hey, I've been in your shoes. I guarantee that every single distributor in this company has had the same fears you do right now about getting started. So that's where I was at every time I would back out. And then finally I was like, not listening anymore. I'm putting my earplugs in and just doing this.
Right. Absolutely. And it had to be the right timing for you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great lesson because I just know people do it all the time where they're like, well, they must not be interested and they stop following up. And then a lot of times it's not that they're not interested. It's just they're scared or whatever. And I do that all the time when I'm following up with my people. I tell them, just tell me, be honest with me. Is it no, you're just not ready, or do you not want me? Because I tease the people. I'm like, I am not here to be a stalker. So if you just do not want to do this, please tell me. You will not offend me. I don't want to bug you. And I have not had anybody ever come back at me and say, no, you're bothering me. I'm not interested at all. It's just timing. So make sure you're always following up. You're a prime example of that. So that's awesome. So walk us through what's kind of your talent. How do you mostly build your business? Are you more of a belly to belly? Are you more social media? What do you do?
I am definitely more social media. That's how I built all the way up to presidential. And I think that, well, actually, I know the reason why I built social media primarily was because I was scared to death to talk to people like face to face and belly to belly. And I finally got over that fear just a few weeks ago when Carrie and I were at Pam's daughter's house for the weekend. And Pam was like, you just got to get over yourself. I was like, oh, crap. She just called me out. And so that day we were at the beach and I went and blitzed somebody for like literally the first time ever in my business. And
oh my gosh.
I know. But it's never felt better. And now I'm pumped because now like I've gotten over that fear. And it was such a stupid thing to be scared of. But I have built on social media, and I'm still doing it that way just because I have such a love for like networking with people. And with Instagram and Facebook, you can meet people from like Australia and Canada and where else are we open? Germany, like over Europe. So social media has been my main point there.
Awesome. So
how did you actually launch your business? Like, what did you do to get started? I don't know if you can even see me back here. Okay.
Well, Carrie made me have a launch party, which I'm glad she did because I have a really good story from it. I only had one person show up. And so I was like, sweet, cool, Carrie. Just setting me up for disappointment right away. But the cool thing about it is that one person who came to my party, she signed up as a distributor. And she helped me get to Ruby. She's no longer with me, but it just goes to show that even if one person shows up to that party, that one person might sign as a loyal or a distributor, and they might help you towards the next promotion. Doesn't mean they're going to be your rock star. Maybe, maybe not. But either way, that person is now in your organization, and they help. I always say God builds your boxes, or God gives you the people at the right time, and he'll take them out too. And so I was glad that she did do that party, and I did only have that one person show up because now when I throw parties, because I will like throw launch parties and help my teammates launch their business if they choose to. Now, if they only have one person show up, I can be like, hey, get her. Like my one person showed up and she signed as a distributor. So that was how I got started. And I started posting right away. Like I said, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I just asked Carrie. I said, okay, what do I post? And she told me, and I did it.
Cool.
I didn't even question what she was telling me to do because I was like, she's successful, so I must do the same thing she's doing so I can be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Right, absolutely. And I tell people that all the time at their launch parties because so many times I'll hear it from new distributors where they're like, well, I don't want to have a launch party because I don't know anybody that would come. And I'm like, well, let's put it out there. And if nobody comes, we'll use it as training, or we'll go online and we'll do a Facebook Live and we'll talk about some of these products or whatever it may be. So I think, absolutely. I didn't have a huge turnout at my launch party either. But I got a handful of distributors. I think I got like 2 or 3 distributors at my launch party and a couple of LCs. So you just got to do it. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so you said you mainly build on social media. So I always like for these Zooms, I like people to walk away with some tips that will help them build their business. So why don't you give everybody maybe just 1 or 2 tips on social media that's really helped you to grow your business?
Okay, I'll start with one that I tell my team all the time. is I think it's really important. And I know some people are different, but for me, I think it's super important to have an eye-catching, like just an eye-catching profile. Because I mean, think about, like, put yourself in a situation, you're scrolling on Instagram and you see a picture and it just catches your eye, like you're pulled to it. And so then you click over and go to their profile, and then you're just drawn in scrolling for hours, you know, because their profile is eye-catching. Well, sooner than later, you're going to find out, you know, I've done it before where this person was a distributor and I didn't know it by immediately looking at her profile, but she drew me in because she had something that caught my eye. And so, I mean, there's apps out there, like one of my favorites is Pick Tap Go, and you can make your photos lighter and brighter. And to me, I think a light and bright and eye-catching profile is everything because, like I said, it draws that person in. So I always make sure, you know, to have, well, and with the lighter and brighter photos, another thing is I despise stock photos. They drive me crazy. Minus, like, our company's before and after photos because we want to stay in compliance, you know, and not be getting in trouble. I think it's really important, even if it's not your hand. Like, I'll do pictures some mornings where it's my glass of greens and just my hands in the picture, but you can't see my face. So sorry, hold on. Mac and cheese.
I thought it was friendly, so I'm glad it was
But, and so that way my team can use that picture too, because I know, like, I'll have my new distributors sign up. They're like, well, I don't have a picture of greens, or I don't have greens yet. I'm like, well, just use mine, because then people see, or they know that you're using the product, and it's just prettier, so to say. So just, like, make sure you have an eye-catching profile that isn't all it works. I think people sign up, or I shouldn't say all it works, but all pictures of things that aren't you, like a greens picture, a picture of wraps that, you know, like, come from the company's website and that. And so I think people sign up and they think, oh, I immediately got to start posting everything green and black, da-da-da-da-da, like that. And I'm like, no, don't do that, because people get on Facebook and Instagram to connect with us and see what's going on in our life. You know, people from college want to see our kids and our families growing up together. And so when you're posting all these pictures of just products and just bellies, people are like, oh, like, she must, like, I don't want to follow her anymore, be her friend. And so that's where we lose our followers and lose our friends. But if you find that way to incorporate your daily life, into It Works, and post about that, like, oh, I'm so excited this morning. I woke up and first thing I'm going to do is drink my greens and have a picture of your hand holding the greens. Because that way people are still seeing what you're doing. You know, those opportunity posts where you're playing outside with your kids and you just signed up a loyal customer, put that loyal customer, you know, the little email we get onto the picture and be like, I was playing outside with Presley and I just signed a loyal customer for hair, skin, and nails. Mm-hmm. You know, because that way people are still seeing you, they're still seeing your family, and they're still seeing what's going on in your life. And they don't feel like they're following an ad where they're like, oh, this person's trying to sell me. So I think that is one of my biggest tips, is just to make, oh my God, sorry, gosh, she's got a bath bomb. You just have to make sure that you're not, I'm trying to think of, like, a company that is just, you know, like a boutique site. If you go to a boutique site, all you're going to see is what they're selling for their clothes. You don't want to be that. You still want to show people your face and show them that you're using the product and what it's doing in your everyday life.
Yeah. And I always tell people too that it's always, you know, it's so nice because our gear is so cute. So like just wearing your gear and having that in your pictures all the time, or like doing a selfie of you drinking the greens and not even saying anything about the greens, just something like good morning. Like that's the stuff that's gonna catch people's attention, and it's more of that pull because they want to know, like, why are you always wearing that It Works stuff? Or what is the symbol that you always have on? Or what is this swamp juice that you're drinking? You know? So I think that that's a great tip, and that's huge. And I love Pick Tap Go too. It's probably, Josh makes fun of me because it's like became a hobby of like editing the pictures and like brightening them up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at how
once you do it, you're addicted. And then you see it and you're like, oh my gosh, that photo is so much better than the one I just took with just my lens on my phone.
Yeah,
it's just attractive, and that's what draws people in and gets them, you know, then they're like, oh, she's like, she owns a business, what business does she own? And so then it, you know, it just draws them in, it catches them.
Yep. And also with the Facebook changes too, and this is something people might not know, but like another reason you don't want to post ads is because people don't care. They'll just keep scrolling through them. But if somebody stops on your picture and looks at it for a minute, Facebook decides that it's more important. So it will actually get your picture shown to more people because people are stopping and looking at it. So you always want to kind of think about that kind of stuff when you're posting. You want to think about like, would I stop and look at this? Would this interest me? And like a billboard ad saying $99, join my team, like nobody cares.
People don't want to see that. What people want to see, for example, is like take a selfie with the, oh my gosh, I can't think. What's that little booklet called? A party pad. Take a picture of the party pad because they want to see your face. They want to see your beautiful face.
Yep, I love that. Okay, so let's move on to something else. So you said you've been in 18 months, about 18 months. Okay, so you've been
probably 2 years in March.
Okay, so almost 2 years. So you've been through some of the different seasons in the business now. You've probably experienced times of growth and times that are more of a planting season. I always say, summer, spring, fall, and winter.
Yeah.
So what do you do to keep moving through the different seasons? Like when it's go time and when it's like, it's just kind of a little quieter. There's not a whole lot of activity that you're seeing. It's more of a planting season. What do you do to keep yourself going?
I don't even think of I think the slow season thing is just some myth. Like somebody said it one time and then it clicked with everybody else and it was like a ripple effect. Because if you're working your business, you're not going to have a slow season because you have to constantly be doing something. I mean, like tanning salons, they probably have a slower season, but they're still getting people to come in. They're still, marketing their store. And so, it comes with planting and harvesting. In the so-called slow season, it shouldn't be slow because you should be reaching out to people every single day still. You should be meeting new people every single day still. Get out there and blitz. There are so many people that have no idea about our company. Even people in the hometown where corporate's at, they have no idea. Carrie and I blitzed a person at Green Carpet, and she's like a mile away from the corporate office, and she's like, what is it work? Like, no idea. And so in the slow season, just because you're not enrolling people, maybe it's because you weren't planting those seeds last season. I have people from a year ago coming to me now, and so this slow season that people keep talking about, there isn't one because I was working my business still. So just get the slow season thing that's in your head, if it is, and just take it out. Make yourself busy. Do personal development. That's how your business is going to grow because you need to grow yourself in order to grow your business and, help other teammates below you. Make sure you give them that extra training if you feel like it's going slow. So I just say screw the slow season and keep yourself busy because it's really, everyone is still, some of the biggest enrollments I've seen have happened this month when other people are saying, oh, it's so slow. I don't think it's true. I think they're just not working or they're distracted by the numbers of things. Well, if you want your numbers higher, then get to work.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I always tell people too that it's just like you said, there's never a slow season, but there's different things that you're going to focus on in different seasons. When we get into January, February, March, sometimes it's so busy that you don't even have time to go out and meet new people because you can't even keep up with the people that you have. But then you get into a different season where you kind of, all of those people, you've signed them up as loyal customers or distributors. So it's not that it's slow. It's just now you need to go into a new season. Like maybe this is your networking season. This is when you're going to meet people. You're going to be building up those new relationships, which is still work. It's a different season.
It's a different kind of work. It's not work that you may have been used to back in January.
Yeah, but the more you do in those different seasons, now you might not be enrolling as many people as you do in January, February, March. So that means you need to be meeting more people than you've ever met before. So when we move into January, February, March, you're so busy again that you can't network. You've already
I just feel like right now, because there's an election going on and everybody's attention is just on it, I think people are just so distracted. But as long as you keep planting those seeds while they're distracted, as soon as they're undistracted, they're going to be like, oh, New Year's resolutions, I got to get my products ordered. This girl messaged me. I never got back to her. It's just going to be crazy, I think. I have a really good feeling about it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think so too. I tell people the people that are working their business right now are going to be the ones who win next year, because it's just that there's a lot of distractions going on just in life right now. So if you're building that network, filling your funnel, what's going to happen is the election's going to be over, and it doesn't really matter who wins, but people are going to be ready for change. They're going to be ready for something new, and that all those distractions are going to kind of go away. So if you built through that season, you're going to be ready to go. So yeah, I love that.
Another thing is, if you're feeling like your business isn't booming right now, instead of just quitting and throwing in the bag because you think that's how it's always going to be, I think you need to talk to someone and just be open and honest, because I guarantee they'll talk you out of it, just like we, are explaining kind of now what the seasons are, and you'll feel better about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so you got to go and spend a couple nights at Pam Souter's house, which is amazing. I'm sure that was quite an experience. So give us an aha or two from when you were there.
Let me think for a second, because there are so many. She just, everything she said, I think we complicate things way more than they need to be. They have, laid out, they say it every family call, they say it every day. There's 3 steps we need to follow, and as long as we continue to repeat those steps, you're going to be fine. And, even with talking to potentials, we just complicate it. Just keep it simple and don't overwhelm them, and think about how you would feel if you were talking to yourself, and your business will be fine. You just, you got to get over yourself, and you got to follow, copy the right path and follow the steps to success. And everything she said was just like, oh, why have I been complicating it like this? Mm-hmm. And so, she just said so much. But my main things that I pulled from it were keep it simple and don't overcomplicate everything. And just, if people tell you no, or they start to, try to belittle you for the business that you're in, who cares? Let them. What is so important about their business or what they do that it makes yours look like crap? People have different paths. We all do different things in life. And just because somebody doesn't do something the way you do doesn't mean it's the wrong way. I think that was an awesome point she made, because I know every day that we have I'll have girls come to me and like, oh, well, so-and-so said this on my post. And just delete it. Delete the negative people out of your life, because they are not paying your bills, and they are, they're not having to take care of your children and feed your children's mouths. So just because somebody enjoys their corporate job being told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, doesn't mean that their way of doing it is right. We've been around for 15, 16 years now. Mm-hmm. I mean, clearly we're doing something right, and it's only going up from here. Mm-hmm. So it was an amazing weekend. I want to do it every weekend. It was so incredible.
I love it. I know Pam's awesome, and a lot of times it is we always talk about that. Whenever we talk to her, she gives you back these really simple things where it's just yeah, it's just kind of duh.
Right? Yeah.
But I think that's what we do. We totally do just overcomplicate it, and I think the more your business grows, you do that over and over again. Then you have to kind of reel yourself back. No, it's steps to success, meet people, blitz, wrap, repeat, over and over again.
Right. And if something's working for you, don't try to switch it. I know some people feel like they do better belly to belly. I'm like, okay, do it. If you are booming that way, that's awesome. Because we balance each other out, and that's cool. You can learn from each other that way.
Yep, absolutely. I always tell people, why would you want to have a strong weakness? So many people are like, oh, I suck at Instagram, so I'm just going to really invest time in it. And it's why do you want to do that? If you're good at meeting people, don't invest all of this time trying to learn how to do Instagram when you just, maybe don't enjoy it and aren't very good at it. There's so many different things that you can do to build this business. So find what you're good at, find what you enjoy, and do that to the best of your ability. Don't have a strong weakness.
I agree.
All right, let's see what else I got here. I always write stuff down because I go off on tangents and I need to bring myself back. Let's see, this is a good one. If you had to do it all over again, is there anything that you would do different? Because I always tell people, building fast and building a little slower. There's pros and cons to both. And I'm sure you've seen that just even with people in your team, people who build really fast and people who build a little slower. Is there anything, like if you had to do it all over again, is there anything you would tell yourself to do different?
Oh.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one because now that I get what you're saying with building fast and building slow. There's pros and cons because I literally promoted like month after month. The only time was I missed 1 month going triple. I was boxed in for triple, just didn't have enough volume. And then I went that next month, and then I had 2 months, and then I went presidential. And going that fast, I mean, it was awesome. It was crazy. It's still crazy to me to think about it. But now going ambassador, I'm realizing that I want to build strong, and I truly want a strong ambassador team who got my attention in training them and, just pouring into them when they need it and teaching them how to do it the way I did it. And I don't want to, I've seen a lot of people, talk about it, and I don't want to push somebody's promotion when they're not ready to do it yet and then watch them lose it, because I have seen a few girls lose their promotions and they get really down about it. And even though, it's like, okay, now I'll figure it out and get back up there, I don't want to go up to ambassador and hold my rank and then watch all of these other people crumble. And I want to make sure we're strong. And so, I used to, my whole entire, going up to presidential, I filled the boxes and I got the volume in and I got it done. If I was doing it by myself, I was going to get it done. Like, I was on a mission and nobody was stopping me. And now going ambassador, I'm like, well, if this girl doesn't want it and she's not going to work, even if she has people under her, I'm not going to continue to build her. And even though, it means I have more boxes to fill, that's okay. I'm going to work with the people under her that want this, because there's no point in rushing it and then having your whole entire structure crumble. If you can get there strong and quick, awesome. That's great, because that's what I did for presidential. But now ambassador, I'm opening up my eyes because I was so frustrated in the summer just because it just wasn't coming quick. I was like, come on. And then I can't remember who it was who said it, but it just kind of opened my eyes. I was like, slow down. I'm not in a race with anybody. This isn't a competition. I'm at a great spot right now in my business, and why rush something that's not ready to go yet? God's timing is what it's going to be, because I can't change that. And so I think it just kind of even changed my whole mindset and how I'm working, because it's clear now. Like, it's going to happen, and it will happen when it's right. And then when it does happen, it's going to be strong, and it's not going to crumble. And everything is going to be in the right places. Sure, I might lose a few, but those people underneath them are going to rise up. Yeah. And I think it's more important to me. It's, even though it might take a little longer to build strong and make sure everybody else is strong, because it's not just about me. It's about my team, and my team is helping me get there, and I'm going to help them get there. And so I just really think it's so important to me now, just keep my team in mind and know that it's not just it's not just me trying to hit a goal. It's everybody else too, and I want to make sure I'm there and being the right leader to help them do that. I don't want to be selfish.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that so much, because I think sometimes people do. They think they see other people moving so fast and they think, well, I'm not moving that fast, so it must not be for me. And there really is. I mean, there's, like I said, there's pros and cons to both. But I think for anybody who's maybe been in a little longer, don't get stressed out about it, because when the right people come, you're going to be a stronger leader because you've learned along the way. Where, when you grow that fast, a lot of times you do things wrong, and then you look back on it and you're like, oh gosh, that was not, but it's just that ignorance on fire. So there's two sides to every coin. So I love what you said. I think that's awesome. What do you do? What are some things that you do for your personal development? Because we always tell people personal development is so important in this business. Like, it's a major thing. What are some personal development things that maybe you've read or listened to that have really changed your business?
A book I'm reading right now, I don't think I have it in here. It's the Rhinoceros. What is the rest of it?
Success, right? Isn't it Rhinoceros Success?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm reading right now. And I've been kind of bad at personal development just because when I was promoting so fast, I was like, I don't have time for that. To grow as a leader and to be able to, coach and help my girls and guys as much as possible, I need to grow myself, and I don't want to keep repeating myself. And So, like, there's YouTube videos I've watched, the Rhinoceros Success I'm reading right now. And it's actually crazy because my grandfather, he was a huge entrepreneur and started all these hair schools across the United States. He just passed away last September. And my dad saw the book because it's like the first personal development book I've actually been able to sit down and read, and I love it so far. And he goes, "Where'd you get that book?" I was like, "I ordered it off Amazon," like I always do. And he goes, "Well, that's weird." I was like, "Why is that weird?" Like, I'm reading a personal development book. And he goes, "Well, it's the one your grandfather used to hand out to everybody who he believed in and believed would be a really successful entrepreneur." And so now that book, like, it just means everything to me. But that's one of my favorite books. And the other one I've read was How to Retire Your Husband in I think it's just How to Retire Your Husband.
Yep.
And I read that when I first started, and I think that's a great book for people who are just starting out. Just, kind of realize that, hey, this is a business. It's not just a job. It's going to take a little longer. But mainly just plugging in, like never missing a family call. I've only missed one, and that was when I had surgery. The Monday night calls, showing the money calls, and just making sure when your upline do these Zooms for you to tune into them, because they're not necessarily doing them for themselves. They're putting these together and organizing them and taking time out of their day or night to help you guys, because they're up, and yes, they still need to learn, but they're already up at the top, so they want to help you guys succeed and have the same trainings that they had when they were promoting and trying to work their business and new and learning. So just making sure you plug in this thing and get to events. Green Carpet was my first event, not this past July, but the July before that. And I had just promoted to Diamond, and I had a lot of people say, "Well, why are you going to like such a big event and spending all this money so soon? Like, you don't even know if this business is going to last for you." I was kind of blown back. I was like, "I just promoted to Diamond and earned a $10,000 bonus. I'm going, like, I've earned this." And I said, it's important to me because I believe in it, and I know it's not going anywhere. Like, you can tell me in my ear as much as you want, "Oh, you're going to fail. It's going to go away," but it's not, and I believe in it, and I knew in my heart, like, I just had this amazing feeling, and that feeling was right. And so even if you're brand new, like, conference tickets are still on sale. Get that ticket and figure out a way to get there, because I remember leaving Green Carpet, and I was just even more on fire and more pumped up. And then last year was my first conference, and getting to sit in the VIP Elite for my first conference, like, I was just like a little kid in a candy store, like, oh my God, like, it is just incredible. And I can't even put into words what it's going to do for you and your business and your personal development, because you just have to be there and experience it. Like, I remember just the worship night, the first night, I just was bawling because, like, I hadn't had that connection with God in so long, and knowing that God is in this company and he's in my business, and I could feel him. Like, you always hear people talk about, God talked to me, God spoke to me. I'm like, I pray to him, but I don't think I've ever heard him talk to me. And that night, I could just feel it. Like, I get goosebumps still, because it's incredible, and you just need to be there. Pay-per-view is cool, but being there, it's going to change your business, and it's going to confirm for you that this business and what Mark and Pam and Mike have planned for us is just going to keep rising. Like, we're just in the beginning, and I know we say it so many times, but we truly are. Like, there's so much growth, and there's just like, somebody turns 18 every day. Like, we're never going to run out of people. So just get your butt to events and plug into calls and plug into Zoom, even if you're in the bathtub. Like, I turned on a Zoom one night and stayed on my bathroom counter so I didn't miss it, because I wanted to hear it. And so just be plugged in.
I love that. Awesome. All right. So the last thing I have for you, and then we'll open it up to questions, because I want to be respectful of your time too. But what is a top tip you can give somebody who is just starting their business, or maybe restarting their business? Maybe they kind of signed up, didn't do anything with it, and now they're ready to go. What's a top tip that you would give them?
I would say put your blinders on and your earplugs, because you're going to have the naysayers and all the haters and all that. And to also never decide if this business is for somebody or not, because I know when I was in the beginning, there was a lady I had on my 100th list who I really wanted to contact, but I felt kind of stupid because she has a huge successful online boutique called Philly Flair, and I'm sure some of you might know of it. And I've worked with her before because I've done some modeling for her, but like, she'd really kill this business. Like, she's already a businesswoman, and her network is just crazy huge. But why would she need the extra money? Like, she's already got money. And I think that's when I was going double. She contacted me and she's like, hey, I want to sign up. And I was just kind of blown away. I was like, is this really happening? Like, why is she extra money? She's not getting extra money. Like, why didn't I contact her? Like, now she's having to contact me, which was fine. And so she joined, but those people who you think, like, maybe like, because I was like this with her, oh, she's never going to join me. Like, she doesn't need this. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And even though it wasn't because, for her, it wasn't because what was going on, but she had so many women who wanted to do what she was and they wanted to be successful like she was, but not everybody can own a boutique and be that successful like her. And so this business, she had seen what it did for me and has like so many others. And she knew that she could give women this business and teach them how to be successful with it because she already knew how to run a business, and like learning from me, she could tell them all that stuff. And so it was her way of showing these women that they could do it too and be successful in a business. And so just don't, I could have contacted her months before and already had her, but I was too chicken to contact her because I thought she didn't need it. But the thing is, there will be people you see, they might be carrying a Louis bag around and look dressed to the nines, but they may be broke as heck. And they might need this opportunity, and they might need somebody to come to them. They're too embarrassed to come to you because they think, oh, that person probably thinks I have a lot of money, and now I've lost all my money. So don't even, like I call it a chicken list. I know somebody else has too, and put those names on there and cross those names off. Don't be afraid to contact those people because you never know. They might need this opportunity, and they might be, they're not crying out for help, but they're secretly praying and wishing that, oh, I wish that crazy rap girl would contact me. And you might be the answer to their prayers.
Mm-hmm. And I always tell people too, like, you would hate to like go on your Facebook or Instagram one day and see they signed up with somebody else.
Oh, and I've done that.
And I've had it too.
I'm like, why did I contact her?
It's the worst. It's the worst. I had a gal who, she's a realtor and kind of the same thing, very successful. She loves her job. She does a great job. So I never reached out to her, and she became a distributor. And I remember looking at it and I'm like, what? I went on eSuite to see if she signed up with me, and I didn't notice it. I'm like, what? No, that's mine.
It's not a good feeling.
It wasn't. I had never reached out to her. And so actually, it was like a month ago or 2 months ago when we were in Chicago for the training, she was there. And she messaged me after the training. She was like, I just have to tell you, you inspire me so much. I remember looking at you before I even signed up, and you're the reason I signed up. And I'm like thinking in my head, why didn't you sign up with me? But yeah, you have to reach out to people, like, and especially if you get that gut, like, pull to them, like, just reach out to them because there might be a reason. It might not be that they're going to join your team, but they might have a connection for you.
Right, exactly.
Or, they might not be the destination, but they might be a doorway to something. So
I promise you don't want to see that person sign up because, like, God's slapping you in the face and saying, I told you to.
Right. Absolutely. I love it. All right, awesome. Well, let's go ahead and open it up to questions. So if anybody has a question, just go ahead and pipe up. But this was awesome. Thank you so much, Connor. I took a lot of notes and I got a lot of good tips. So let's just open it up for a couple minutes and see if anybody has any questions.
I still remember your first training that you came through in Aberdeen.
In Aberdeen, I was like, what are calves? I still like.
I remember because you sat on the opposite side of the table from me, and Crystal was like, that's Connor over there. That girl's going to tear it up. She's doing really good. Yeah.
Not stopping.
You had the baby on the hip, and you were ready
I still do.
It's really cool too at trainings and stuff like that. You can kind of tell who's getting it and who's gonna run with it because we're up there talking, and usually I spill a little bit of emotion or whatever and whatnot, and you can see who's kind of like eyes locked and head nodding.
I think Blake thinks I'm crazy because I'm like, I'll sign someone, I'm like, she's gonna run.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
I just know, okay? Just watch.
Exactly. That's the best feeling in the world when you're kind of like you're spilling your guts to people or whatever, and you can see who's locked on you in the crowd. And yeah, you were ready to roll. I'll never forget that.
That was awesome. That was my first training, like my very, very first training. I was like, Mom, we're going to Aberdeen. She's like, why are you going there? I'm like,
I love it. All right. Does anybody have any questions for Connor? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Nobody ever wants to be the first one.
I know
somebody has a question for you.
Anyone? How many people on here are going on the cruise?
This is a girl that just went presidential in 8 months.
And nobody has a question for her.
And she also just said,
kidding me.
I don't even care about seasons. They're a myth.
I don't care about
Is it a question?
Honestly, I promoted in a slow. I went to presidential in a slow season. I remember I was so shocked when I got on the phone with Pam. First off, I was like shaky and like I drank coffee all day, which I hadn't. But I was just so nervous to talk to Pam. And she's like, "Well, you're the only one." I was like, "What? Would there be like 10 others with me?" She's like, "No, this is unusual." I was like, "Okay, let's do it."
That's awesome. I love it. Let's see. All right. Anybody? You have any other questions?
No, somebody's got to pipe up. So you would say that you were 99% of your business is built by social media?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because even like when Blake and I were in Cancun I think it was last January, like somebody like on a tour bus would ask what we do, and I kind of look at Blake because I don't want to explain to them what I did, so I'd have him explain it.
Funny.
Like, oh, I was such a chicken. I think it was because when I was drinking all the time 4 years ago, I thought I was the life of the party and could talk to anybody. And then all of a sudden my alcohol got taken away from me. I'm like, how do I start up a conversation? How do I talk to people?
Yeah.
Pam helped me get over that. We were at the beach. I was like, I'm going to go blitz that girl.
So how about back to social media then? Is it like 99% Instagram, or are you using Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat?
Facebook got me to presidential, but I was working my Instagram the entire time because with Facebook being a warm market, obviously people trust you more because, you either know them through somebody, or they're like the town over or something like that. Whereas Instagram, like most of the people on there, like when you're networking and building your followers and that, there are people I have no idea who 98% of the people are that I'm following. And so, you have to build that relationship with them and like and comment on their photos and, even message them every now and then like, oh, your little girl's so cute. Don't even bring up the business, just build that relationship. Yeah. And so I'm glad I did that because working my Instagram that whole time, because now, my Instagram, I'm getting a lot more action on my Instagram. I'm getting messages and talking to a bunch of people from all over. So even if it's not getting you the results right away, still work it because people are watching you and they're following you, and I'll have people come around who, I didn't even know they're following me, and they'll be like, oh, I've been watching you for 6 months now and I can't do this anymore. Like I gotta jump on. Mm-hmm. So still work it, definitely. But up to presidential is Facebook mainly because it was that warm market. And it wasn't even all warm market, but it was because people knew me through this person or that person, or
yeah.
They saw I had a connection with one of their friends or family members.
Awesome. You guys, I'm gonna take her for what she's worth. You guys better jump in here. So until somebody asks you a question, let's keep rolling. So how about this? Like you get somebody that you've commented a few times and you notice that they're commenting on a few of your things, and all of a sudden you're like, they just liked one of my business posts. Do you immediately message them and say, hey, thanks for the like? Or do you wait for maybe they like 2 or 3 of your business posts, or you wait for them to comment? Like for you?
If they've been kind of, commenting back and forth or liking my photos, I know they've been seeing my business posts, so then I do message them. And I just keep it simple and say, hey, girl, thanks for loving my post. Were you interested in what I do? And sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. Sometimes they're like, yeah, I'm so glad you reached out to me. And some of them open the message and don't say anything and then continue to like my photos.
Yeah.
Hi, baby. So it's different all the time. But usually if I notice that they've been active on my page, then I message them. If I just followed them and they just followed me and they like 10 pictures, I don't message them yet. Because I don't want to be like, oh, unfollow her.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
But Instagram, I just love it. And Facebook. Because you can just literally connect with anyone from anywhere.
Right. Yep. I totally agree. Lori Ann asked, how many times a day do you post total?
I try to post in the morning. Usually, well, it depends on when I get up because I'm really bad at sleeping in, which I need to get better on. I just get so much done at night that I think it's okay. But in the morning, like right when I get up, I get a post up. Usually either before lunch, after lunch, or like at lunchtime time or area. And then a couple hours at lunch, and then I'll do again at dinner time and a couple hours after dinner time. Sometimes I'm bad about getting that many posts up, but I try to, like, when I'm posting those things, it's not all it work stuff. Like, sometimes I'll ask a question about, like, recently I said, where should I buy bikinis? Like, Victoria's Secret, just continuing their line. That way I get an interaction of people, and it's not interaction dealing with it work. So people are prone to comment, and it's like, oh, see, I knew you've been watching my post, and you kind of get to see everybody that really is following you. Mm-hmm. And then, I'll post a picture of Presley and talk about our day or what we're doing and how nice it is to be able to work my business. Make sure to get a product post up. Usually in the morning, usually it's like my greens and that, like I get a product post up right away, and I always get a before and after up, usually later in the day. I don't know why I post at those times, but it's just, I've gotten myself in a routine, and as long as I'm posting, I know people are watching and they know that I'm on Facebook and know I'm open for business. Because if you take a day, I'll never take a day off. I may slack on posting sometimes, but I always make sure to get a business post up and a normal post up, because I don't want people to think that I'm out for business. Because I look at it as, if I'm not posting, then I must be closed for business and have a giant closed sign across my screen. Because people are almost expecting us to be posting about our business.
Yeah.
So if you just find, go follow, people like Alyssa Bilyeu and Crystal and Josh and Carrie and just those people that are up there, copy the right hats. You don't have to copy their post word for word, but maybe especially if you're new, that can give you an idea of how to incorporate your daily life into those business posts and how to keep people interested and, always telling your story. And even if you're new, you have a story. And I always explain it as you have your past, your present, and your future. My past, I was I still am, but, just got out of rehab, just got kicked out of college, and all of a sudden I'm expecting a baby, and I have my daughter, and I'm sick of living paycheck to paycheck, and that was my present. And now, we're getting to travel, and we're debt-free, and I'm paying my bills on time and helping other people do the same. So, your past, present, and future. And it's going to revolve over time, but it kind of gives you an idea of how to tell your story. Because, I have girls in my team who are executives, and they're posting their story, and that's smart because people get to watch your story evolve and see your story, your success story. And it's just really cool getting to watch that.
That's awesome. I haven't heard that in a little while, actually. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you're at in the business. You still got a story, and you got to share it. That's what's going to be relatable.
Where were you before ItWorks came along? Where are you right in this moment with ItWorks, and where is ItWorks going to take you? Speak those goals out and get them out of the future. One thing I always do is, I have it on my mirror right now. I've always wrote, what rank I was going for. So right now it's Ambassador Dive in November 2016. And if I didn't hit my promotion that month, with Triple Diamond, then I'd put the next month. But it's always there because I want to see it. I want that constant reminder. And even though it's a big white blob on my bedroom wall right now, I have my big ambassador chart hanging up there, taped to the wall, because my mom's like, why do you have that hanging there? Because I need to see it. I need to see it. My chalkboard back there, I write down the names of my potentials. And who knows, it may be in my head, but I swear that every potential's name I write on there, they sign up. So then I get to cross them off. And as long as I see it, I know they're going to sign, and I know it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing with that secret.
Yeah, there is. It's so true. There's something magical about putting the pen to paper or just putting it up in front of you. And I don't know what it is, but I completely agree with you. Once I write them down, magic happens. It's weird.
Yeah, it does. It does. I swear it does every time.
Connor, how many people do you try to talk to in a day and message in a day?
In a day. It varies day to day, but I, on my Instagram, I try to message I make sure to message every single person. I have my follow-up list because I know people say follow-up Friday, but there may have been someone who, you just talked to for the first time on Friday, and I don't want to wait all the way till next Friday to follow up with them. So maybe on Monday or Tuesday, I'll follow up with that person. And so it just kind of depends on how many follow-ups I have down. If I'll try to message probably, if I'd say daily, I'd say 45 people, even if that's just getting that first message out there, because I constantly want to make those connections and get people's attention and get those follow-ups in and not miss one, because you don't follow up with them, someone else is going to, and you don't want, like we were talking about earlier, see that one person that you've been checking the message sign up with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you were building to presidential and you went on that huge run, did you cold message a lot on Facebook?
I did cold message a lot. Now, like, I mean, there's so many different definitions of cold messaging, and now I don't do as much cold messaging. I really wait for that contact, because now I look back and think about it, I'm like, I was probably that annoying sales girl, but I was just so hungry for it, and so I didn't even, that thought didn't cross my mind. So, I don't know, I have mixed emotions on cold messaging.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel as if, like, as long as you aren't adding someone and seeing they accepted your friend request and then messaging them right away, then down the road I think it's fine to message them. Just don't, like, I know I've seen so many new people sign up and then they'll add all these friends and then they'll message them right away, and I think that's the biggest mistake you can make, because they're like, okay, this girl doesn't know me, she added me as a friend so I accepted, and now she just wants to sell to me. I think that relationship's really important, even if it's just like a couple comments back and forth and just letting them watch you for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, I definitely, though, I made sure to contact, I went back to people I went to elementary school with, and I contacted them, more people than you think. Just, you jog your memory, like elementary school, middle school, who was I in dance class with, who was my dance teacher? There's so many people that you just don't think of right away. If you just sit down and think about it, they'll come to your mind.
Yep. I love it. All right, we probably have time for one more question, guys. Anybody want the last question? Right?
If somebody butts in, that's fine. But if
Josh is like, I'm going to take it.
I'm going to ask.
No, this is back where I'm going to keep going with the Instagram thing or whatever, because I know that's your spot. So Crystal and I pushed Instagram hardcore, especially during our ambassador, and we were doing whatever we could. I mean, like, we were like 8 people at once. It was crazy.
Right.
But so we pushed hard on Instagram, and what, like, I'll tell you, we're trying to do everything. We're trying to cover all grounds, but while being Instagram maniacs, like, it was like you're documenting your life on your phone. So it was like this, this thing never left this position, it felt like.
Right.
And I don't know how could you be like a solid Instagram person? How could you be an efficient Instagram person and be able to leave your phone like behind sometimes, or like not document in the moment all the time? Like, here we are, here's me and Corp, and then all of a sudden you got to quick post it. And like when I was doing Instagram, it felt like if it was like 3 hours past that moment, I'm like, it's too late.
You're like, crap, I forgot to post. I have to get a post up.
Yeah. So I was like, well, that's old news now. Can't really use that anymore.
Right. No, I totally know what you're saying, because I feel like I'm doing it right now, and especially like Presley, I think a lot of people think Blake and I live together, but we don't. And so I'm at my house and Blake's at his house, and so she's with me all day, every day. And so I'm like feeling like a bad mom, like, oh, I'm on my phone and she's looking at me again. And so I've really had to, because when I was doing that run, I felt like a bad mom. But then I was trying, okay, I'm doing this for her. This is going to give me all the time in the world with her. But now going into Ambassador, I'm like, okay, I am going to focus. I have ADD so bad. And so I'm like, I'm going to focus. I'm going to sit down, no distractions, 20 minutes, and do like that power 20 minutes. And I pick what I'm going to do. So if I'm going to network with people, I network with them. If I'm going to message them, I'm going to message them. Otherwise, I get sidetracked and I'm on like their best friend's, sister's, cousin's, fiance's page. And then I'm like, why am I on here? And so I'm really finding that balance. And, even if you have to set alarms for your post, like today, I don't know where I was, but I was in La La Land, and like, it's already 4 o'clock and I forgot to post. And so, I mean, those days happen, and I think just setting alarms has helped me, and doing that power focus for like 20 minutes, getting up and focusing on Presley or what I have to do, cleaning the house, and just getting in that routine. I think it's really a routine thing.
All right, so you're going to say that no matter how you work it, Instagram just is a lot of work, and it's probably just part of, is this a business or is this a hobby? if you treat it like a hobby.
And then I think you just have to tell yourself, like, not, where was I going there? Like, you just have to do it. And if you want it to be a business, and if you want to be successful and have this the only thing that you do, then you better find a way to fit it into your life. And it really is simple. I mean, it's work, but it's simple work. I mean, you take a picture, write it up if you want to, and you post it with something to say. You don't, whatever you say, it doesn't have to be perfect. People want to feel the real you and see the real you.
Exactly.
So give that to them.
Yeah.
And just getting in that routine, I'd say, and making sure you do it daily, especially if it's not just a hobby to you.
Yep. So that's just basically what I wanted to get out there.
Anyway, so just post while you're doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to get that out there just like, just recently I was going to get back into Instagram. I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's get my following up. Let's dive back in Instagram. It was starting to work, we started to see some success with it. Either way, I'm just about to dive back in. Got my new apps and stuff ripping, and I'm ready to roll. And all of a sudden, guess what Corbin learned how to say? Daddy, put your phone away. Daddy, put your phone. Oh, no. So, but you know what? Like you're saying, I mean, if Instagram's a lot of work, it's just a lot of work. But if this business is truly a job for us and it's truly providing for our family, I guess we just have to make that time to work.
And I think another thing is sacrificing that sleep. Like for me, I'm not a morning person, and I really wish I was, because morning is so peaceful to me. But I'm a night owl, so when Presley goes to bed, maybe I didn't get, something done, like with pictures or something like that, because I just feel like I'm repeating myself all the time, so I'll set my phone down. But so at night when she goes to bed, that's when I'll edit all my pictures for the next day. So the next day I don't feel like I'm constantly on my phone. Oh, I got to edit this. Oh, I got to put it on Instagram and then post it. And so I have it ready to go and just get it on there. And so I'm going to sacrifice a couple hours of sleep at night so I can spend that time with her the next day rather than being on my phone the entire time. Because I know how you feel. You're like, my phone's right here the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably why she won't take pictures for me anymore. Like, no, when I have my phone out, she's like, Mama, no.
She's so stinking cute too. I love it. Okay, this is the last question because this is a good one, and then we'll say good night. Bonnie asked, how do you bring up your business when you're calling your hundreds list or messaging your hundreds list? What do you say to them?
Usually, now my hundreds list is kind of like follow-ups and stuff, and they're just like getting a message out there to contact them. It's like with Instagram, it's just like, hey girl, thanks for love on my post. Were you interested in what I do, or are you interested in the products we have? Depending on if it's a product post or a business post. For follow-ups, I really, just like I said earlier with what Pam said, I just keep it simple. Like, hey girl, I really know, or I know that you were really interested in this business and getting started. What's holding you back? Where are you at with joining? Is this something that no longer interests you? I really don't want to annoy you. So let me know if I should take you off my list, because, it may feel weird the first couple times saying, hey, I really hope I'm not annoying you. But I guarantee you're going to get a response every time. You're like, oh my gosh, no, I'm so sorry. And then you kind of figure out where they're at. And so that's where I am at with my hundreds messaging, and just get it, like, spark up the conversation really. Or, if it's somebody who has never talked to you before and you want to talk to them because you think they'd truly be good at this, tell them that. I don't just copy and paste. I copied and pasted all the time when I was on that huge run, but I found that when people know that or get the feeling that I generally care about them, I get better results. And so if I see someone who I really truly think would just rock this business, I tell them, I'm like, hey, I know you probably don't know me. Maybe you've seen me post a couple times here and there, but, looking at your profile and, seeing how you network and run your social media, I think you truly rock this business. What do you do for a job? Where do you work? Do you have kids? Do you have a family? Just kind of get to know them. And then it makes them feel like you truly care, which, you do, because you're asking them that stuff, and then get in the conversation of the business, because I guarantee they'll ask, oh, well, what do you do? I see, because they've probably been following you, and they're like, oh, well, I see you own your business. Like, what kind of business is it? Mm-hmm. And so just get that conversation going without, saying, hey, would you like to earn an extra $500 bonus? And just saying that. Because they're like, oh, she's told so that's $500 people right now.
Right. I think sometimes people get so concerned with making sure they say the right thing, so they copy and post something that somebody else is posting, where it's like if you really just, instead of worrying about it so much, just gave people genuine compliments and told them what you love. You know, why do you think they'd be good at this? You know, give them a genuine compliment. That's going to go so much further than you having this perfectly spelt post that sound perfect or whatever. Like, just be real with people, or take it a step further and do a voice message so they can hear, you know, the sincerity in your voice. I think
they know you're a real person. Like, they know they're talking to someone that has feelings and can talk back to them without being told what to say.
Yeah.
I mean, an example of that was one of my double diamonds. That's how I talked to her about the business. We'd gone to middle school together. We were never really friends. But, you know, we knew of each other and we were still friends on Facebook. And I had seen that her and her husband had really been struggling because her husband went through some really serious medical issues. And I thought, wow, because I know how medical bills are. I mean, I've had my own medical issues, and I was like, wow, they must really have, like, the bills racked up right now. And I knew what she did as a job. I was like, I'm going to offer it to her. And I mean, I had never really talked to her in my life before. I was like, hey, you know, I'm really sorry to hear what's going on with you and your husband. And, you know, I'll keep you in my prayers in that. But I have this amazing opportunity. Would you mind, like, can I tell you more about it? And now she's one of my double diamonds.
That's awesome.
So,
I love that.
The majority of what you said earlier in that whole comment was an Ashley Sinclair tip, like 4 years ago. And it was just that, hey, you know what? Your name keeps popping up in my mind. You know how Ashley Sinclair is. And super easy to listen to, really nice person. And if you sincerely say that to somebody, you know, your name just keeps popping up in my mind. And, you know, this opportunity has done so much for our family. I feel like I have to share it with you. And she's really sincere about how she says it. And if it is somebody that's giving you that little belly feeling, like, gosh, I got to tell them about this. If you can sincerely bring that up, that's how you contact your hundreds list. If you put their name on a sheet of paper, it's because you're thinking about them. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid to offer it to them. And you can say it exactly like Ashley Sinclair just did there, you know. And, you know, put your own personality into it, your own emotion, whatever it is. But just off of what, you know, that whole question, another way that Crystal and I like get that out to our hundreds list or whatever, you know, offer it to our hundreds list is, you know, a wrap party. You know, we don't mention it as a wrap party. It's just, hey, you know what, we're really working on growing our business or getting new product testimonies out. Would you be interested, or would you be okay with getting a group of people together so we could do a little like product testing at your place or something?
Exactly.
And so we reword it for each person, but we just go through our hundreds list and ask if they'd be willing to get a few people together so we could offer the product to some people, or, you know, have them just check out the business.
I think a great way to think of it also is when you're contacting your hundreds list, you know, put it in your mind to, this is about them. It's not going to do anything for you. This is about them and what it's going to do for them. Even with promoting, and like how I talked about, you know, doing this ambassador promotion, what I have in my mind is what is best for my team and those people in those promotion spots. Am I pushing them? Are they ready for this promotion yet, or are they not quite there yet? Mm-hmm. So just don't make it all about yourself. Make it about them and what you're going to do to help them.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much, Connor. This was awesome. I loved hearing from you. I don't think I've ever heard your full story, so that's awesome. I love it, and you're so fun to watch. So I really appreciate you taking the time to pour into everybody tonight. This was awesome.
This is great.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being on. Good night.
Bye.
Happy Tuesday.